Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone.
Today we will present our podcast video entitled Formal, Non-Formal and Informal Education. But let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Safira Ramadhani as your host, and this is
My name is Nursyifa As-Sahra as narasumber pertama. My name is Amira Karima as narasumber kedua.
And I Muhammad Arifia Ramadan sebagai host yang kedua.
Okay guys, happy watching.
Happy watching.
Hi everyone. Welcome to our podcast video. Today's episode is very interesting because we are going to talk about formal, non-formal and informal education. But before we discuss further on this topic, let me introduce you to who you are with today. My name is Safira Ramadhani and I'm here as your host. I'm with my friend. His name is Radit. Could you please introduce yourself to our listeners, Radit?
Okay, thank you Safira. Hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Arifia Ramadan and I'm here as your co-host.
Alright, thanks Radit.
Yes, Safira.
So guys, kalian tahu nggak sih, education itu bukan cuma soal sekolah aja, tapi also about courses, community learning, and even what we learn from our family at home every day.
Exactly. Jadi di sini kita akan mengobrol santai tapi serius juga tentang 3 jalur pendidikan yang selalu bersinggungan. And to make this discussion more exciting, we have two inspiring women with us.
Yes, our first guest is Mrs. Najila Shihab, educator and founder of Kampus Bulu Cikal and Gerakan Sekolah Menyenangkan. Welcome Mbak Ella.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much. I'm happy to join this conversation.
And our second guest is Maudi Ayunda,
Hello.
singer, actress, and education advocate who studied at Oxford and Stanford. Welcome, Maudi.
Halo semua. Thanks a lot. I'm excited to share my talk about education today.
Alright, before we start, I have a light question for both of you. Which one reminds you the most of childhood? Is it school, private courses, or learning at home with family?
For me, definitely family moments. Itu moments paling berbekas dan paling natural di saya.
Yeah.
I would say piano lesson. That's where I learned discipline outside school.
Oh, really? That's fun. Okay, let's dive into today's topic.
So, to make it clear to our listeners, what exactly is formal, non-formal, and informal education? Could you please explain it to us?
Well, informal education is the structured path regulated by the government dari TK, SD, SMP, SMA sampai universitas. It has curriculum, exams, and certificate. Yeah, that's right. Meanwhile, non-formal education happen outside school. It can be organized but more flexible, like PKBM, pesantren, community courses, workshops, or even music lessons.
Yeah, that's true. And informal education is family and daily life learning. Orang tua mengajarkan nilai, kids learn manners from parents, or someone learns from friends and environment.
Oh, okay. So the difference is formal education is structured and certified. Non-formal education is flexible and community-based, and informal education is natural and life-based. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. You get it very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's very clear. But let's make it more practical. When we talk about formal education, what makes it different from just going to a training or a short course?
The main difference is the system. Formal has a standard curriculum evaluation and it usually takes a few years. Non-formal can be short, flexible, even only a few weeks.
Yeah, I remember. Aku dulu pernah ikut kursus bahasa Inggris 3 bulan. That's non-formal,
Oh.
right?
Yeah,
But the certificate wasn't as strong as a school diploma.
Exactly. But don't underestimate.
Yeah, I remember. Aku dulu ikut kursus bahasa Inggris 3 bulan. That's non-formal, right?
Yes.
But the certificate wasn't as strong as a school diploma.
Exactly. But
Yes.
don't underestimate it. And sometimes a short course gives skill that formal education doesn't really cover.
Oh, good.
That's interesting. Actually, I want to know, how do these three types complement each other?
they are connected, not separated. Formal gives knowledge, non-formal adds skill, and informal shapes karakter. Misalnya ada anak SMA yang sekolah di SMA, lalu dia ikut kursus coding dan belajar sopan santun dari orang tua. Together they make a complete learner. Jadi SMA itu pendidikan formalnya, kursus coding itu non formal,
Yes.
dan belajar sopan santun dari keluarga itu informal.
Yes, and sometimes non-formal result can even be organized in formal system, like ada program penyetaraan ijazah di PKBM or professional certification that are accepted in informal institution.
That's interesting. So integration is possible. Formal bisa mengakui hasil non formal dan informal, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why policy on recognition is so important supaya semua jalur bisa dihargai.
Oh, really? Do you think one path is more important than the others, like formal versus non-formal?
No, they are like puzzle pieces. Imagine you only go to school but never learn soft skill at home.
Yeah.
You'll be smart but maybe not wise. Or if you only learn from family but never go to school, your knowledge might be limited.
Wow.
That's true, I agree. Maybe that's why the law in Indonesia That's true, I agree. Maybe that's why the law in Indonesia also recognizes all three. Education is not one size fits all.
Yeah.
Yes, I often say school is not the only classroom. The world is a classroom.
Wow. Good. Nice square.
Thank you.
Dunia adalah kelas. I like that you, Siva. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Next.
Yes, me too. Okay, let's move to informal education. Keluarga dan lingkungan. Menurut kalian, how important is it?
I believe parents are the first teacher. Jadi orang tua itu ada role model pertama buat anak-anak di rumah. The way they behave, how they speak, how they solve problems, anak pasti belajar dari situ dulu.
True. And nowadays, people even say Google is the new teacher. Orang tua juga jadi guru dadakan dengan bantuan internet, ya kan?
Yes.
Do you think it's effective?
It can be if parents guide it, technology help. But parenting is about values. For example, honesty, empathy, responsibility itu nggak bisa diganti dengan mesin pencari.
Oh, I got it. So, informal education is about character and adab, something that school cannot always teach deeply. So, speaking of family, Do you have a personal memory that really shaped you?
Yes, my mom always encouraged me to read before sleeping. That's how I built the habit of reading.
Yes, I remember my father used to ask me to join family discussion. That's formal education. That's formal education too, teaching confidence to speak.
Wow. Aku jadi keinget sesuatu nih.
Apa tuh?
Apa tuh?
Kan kalau di rumah aku itu mama aku kan suka nyuruh aku cerita ulang tentang apa yang dipelajari di sekolah.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's why I didn't just memorize but also explain.
That's such a beautiful example.
Yes. Let's compare. What are the strengths and weakness?
Formal, strong, structured, recognized, but too rigid and slow to adapt sometimes.
And non-formal, flexible, quick, practical, but less recognition, not standardized. And informal, lifelong, natural, unlimited, but no certificate, no structure.
Oh, so the best way is combining them so each covers the other's weakness, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Let's imagine if we could actually improve it. If you could change one weakness of formal education in Indonesia, what would it be?
Maybe flexibility. Formal schools sometimes don't adapt fast enough to the real world.
Agree. For example, digital skills. Many young people learn them from YouTube or courses, not school. That should be improved.
And what about non-formal? The weakness is recognition, right?
Yes, recognition, even though the impact is huge.
Oh, so now about technology. How does
Okay.
it change education?
During the pandemic, online platforms become classroom. Zoom, Google Classroom, Coursera, that's formal adapting.
At the same time, informal learning grew. Kids belajar cooking dari YouTube, parents ikut parenting webinars, communities build study group online.
Oh wait. Belajar cooking dari YouTube? Really? Oh,
Yes, really.
good.
Wow.
So technology ya. So technology connects our three formal, non-formal, and informal. Tapi juga ada tantangan.
Yeah.
Misi informasi, distraksi.
Exactly. That's why critical thinking is crucial. Okay, I have a quick question. What's the
Okay.
weirdest thing you learned online?
I learned how to cook Korean food from just by watching TikTok.
Wow. Really?
That's cool.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
How much you rate?
Aku dulu belajar cara bikin kopi dalgona pas pandemi. Wow, viral banget guys.
Udah lama banget ya.
Iya.
Aku juga sempat
Pandemi.
Iya.
Tapi itu emang enak banget
Iya.
ya.
That's fun.
That's the
Yes.
point. People can learn anything, anytime, but we
Wow.
must also filter information.
Yeah. Based on Indonesian law, number 20, sorry. Yeah. Based on Indonesia's law, number 20, 2003, all three are recognized, but in practice, there are still challenges. What do you think?
Yes, for example, penyetaran hasil non-formal ke informal masih rumit. Sometimes the bureaucracy makes it hard for people to get recognition.
I agree. We need more flexible system that respect lifelong learning. Education should not be one size fit all.
So, interaction and recognition are key.
The law recognizes all three, but in reality, is it working?
Not yet perfectly. For example, many people who study in PKBM still struggle to get some respect as formal school graduates.
Yes, I also heard stories where someone with strong non-formal skill wasn't recognized officially. That needs to change.
Exactly. Aku setuju banget sama pendapat kamu, Radit.
Ya, why?
Looking forward, what do you see as the future of education?
The future is blended. Schools must work with communities and families.
And students must become lifelong learners. Learning can happen anywhere.
Okay, if you could give 3 policy recommendations, what would they be?
First, strengthen recognition of non-formal and informal learning. Second,
Okay.
train parents and community as part of the education ecosystem. And third, make formal education more flexible and adaptive.
Okay, I add digital literacy for both teacher and student, and because technology will stay with us.
Oh, that's a good point. So, Maudi,
Yes?
based on your experience abroad, what can Indonesia learn from that?
I think one lesson is inclusivity. In other countries, they create many learning opportunities beyond school. Indonesia can adapt that too.
If you could dream big, what would Indonesia's education look like in 10 years?
I dream that every child, no matter where they live, can access both school and community learning.
And I dream that parents are seen as equal partners in education, not just supporters.
For me, I hope in the future certificates are not the only measurement. Skills and attitude should matter too.
Beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
That's the future we want, of course.
So today we learned education has 3 paths: formal and non-formal
Yes.
and informal. Each has its own role and all are important.
Thank you so much Thank you so much to our guests, Najila Shihab and Maudi Ayunda, for sharing your insights.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
It's been great.
Thank you Maudi and Ayunda.
Thank you, Maudi dan Ayunda.
Baiklah, saya menyimpulkan beberapa dari formal, non formal dan informal.
Oh ya?
Iya.
Silakan tadi itu.
Iya.
Silakan.
Apa itu, apa itu?
Silakan disampaikan.
Please.
Ya. Kalau yang saya dapat simpulkan itu, kalau formal itu kayak bersifat struktur, diatur
of course.
pemerintah
Yes.
dengan kurikulum, ujian dan ijazah. Kalau menurutku kan ya.
Okay.
Dan kalau dari non formal, kayak lebih fleksibel, praktis, berbasis komunitas, misalnya kursus, PKBM, pesantren atau pelatihan. Ya. Dan yang informal berlangsung alami dan keluarga dan lingkungan sehari-hari.
Yes.
Fokus pada nilai, karakter dan adab. Bisa juga dari pengalaman lah kayaknya yang bisa saya simpulkan.
Okay.
Ketiganya ini saling melengkapi. Formal memberi dasar pengetahuan, non formal menambah keterampilan, sementara informal itu membentuk karakter. Tantangan yang masih ada ialah pengakuan dan integrasi, terutama untuk hasil pendidikan non formal dan informal agar setara dengan non formal. Baiklah, dengan perkembangan teknologi ini, batas antar jalur semakin tipis. Belajar bisa dilakukan di sekolah, komunitas, keluarga, bahkan internet. Namun penting juga kita untuk membangun literasi digital dan berpikir kritis agar informasi yang diterima dapat bermanfaat bagi diri kita sendiri. Baiklah, mungkin itu saja yang bisa saya sampaikan kesimpulan.
Okay.
Thank you, Radit, atas kesimpulannya. Dan thank you juga untuk
You're
kalian yang sudah
welcome.
bersedia hadir pada pertemuan kali
Thank you
ini.
so much.
Thank you. Ya, dan semoga tidak bertemu lagi ya.
Oke.
Kali terakhir, masuk ke ini podcast terakhir. Nah, amin. Tolong di-cut editor. Okay. And thank you listeners. Keep learning from school, from
Yeah.
community, and from your family because learning never ends. That's all from us. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye everyone.